moving on to my Dallas Cowboys, I cannot tell you how badly I wanted you to coach my Dallas Cowboys, because I believe with all my heart and soul you would soon have turned them back into a legitimate contender. How close did that come to happening? How much did you believe that Jerry did have interest in you?
He did, and he still does. Jerry's a dear friend. I love him to life. I know the Jerry Jones, the true Jerry Jones, that a lot of people don't get an opportunity to see. They just see the business tycoon and the stout businessman and the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. I know the Jerry Jones that loves his kids and loves his wife to life. I know that guy. It was interesting. I didn't really think about it that much, but after we conversated, I said, wow, like this has a possibility. Would I do it? And the only way I would have done it, Skip, to be honest with you, is I knew guaranteed I had an opportunity to coach my sons.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Because other than that, why? Like, why? It don't make sense to me. But if I had an opportunity to continue coaching Charlotte and Shador, I would have been ecstatic. In Dallas as well, yeah, that would have been awesome.
Okay, so is it fair to say the job was offered to you, at least dangled to you?
No, I'm not going to say it was offered to me. I'm going to say it was an opportunity that could have presented itself. And we didn't go to the next level, but Jerry was always honest and straight up from day one. Like he's always been.
So, Deion, my fear about that was that Jerry does have a huge ego, as you know. He's earned a huge ego in many ways. And yet, I feared that you would be too big a threat to credit that he would receive, because if you did turn that team around, you would get most of the credit for that. And obviously, you would be the draw in Dallas. You would take over the stage from Jerry, and he would have to take a back seat to you media-wise. And he does do radio shows, and he does do post-game interviews, as you know. Did you fear any of those concepts?
Yeah, because we have a friendship, we have a relationship, and people forget Jerry Jones just wants to win. That's it. He's paid a king's ransom to whomever he thought and whomever his personnel have targeted for him to choose. And it hadn't worked out. And we get upset with him because it hadn't worked out. We get upset with him because he does a radio show. He's been doing a radio show. We get upset with him because he tells the truth. Because all the other owners are distant. They're aloof. They're not vocal. If I pay that type of ticket for a team, you're going to see me too. You're going to see me. You're going to see me. Matter of fact, I might have on a uniform.
You might.
Right. So I don't blame him one bit. I've always been not only a fan, I've always been a man and always been honest and straightforward with Jerry. Jerry is unbelievable to me, man. See, you always hear commentators and podcasters and certain people take shots at Jerry. You've never heard a former player or player.
No.
You don't. Because he's that good of a person. He's that good as an individual. He's just polarizing.
Okay. But Deion, can you appreciate my dilemma of Deion Sanders or Brian Schottenheimer? Again, nothing against Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, Deion Sanders or Brian Schottenheimer.
But when you really think about that, Skip, think about what was that about. You got a tremendous investment in a quarterback that you got to make work. You got to make this work. So which is one of the only ways you make it work is to really sustain, maintain someone that he's truly comfortable with.
I understand.
Yeah, that's what that's about.
Okay. Yeah. So, Deion, think about this. When you played that Super Bowl in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area for your Dallas Cowboys back after the 1995 season, I went to that party that night in that tent. I don't know if you were there in Scottsdale at your hotel, but I'm at that party and I saw some players. And what if I'd seen you and I'd tapped you on the shoulder and said, "Hey, Deion, the Dallas Cowboys are not going to go back to even an NFC championship game for the next 30 years." I'm pretty sure you would have laughed in my face.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
you lost your mind. What you drinking? You lost your mind. What are you drinking?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
Yeah. And do you ever step back from it and say, what happened? Where did it go?
No, I hadn't, because I've always been, when I'm working with the NFL Network, I was a little closer to the NFL game. But, being in college the last several years, I'm so distant. But when you play, you understand what happened. You understand the personality and the typecast of the personnel that you garnish. Like, you understand the characteristics of a Big E. You understand the characteristics of a Larry Allen, the Big Nate, Stepnoski, and all his other guys that played vital parts on the line. And the linebackers, I don't think they were great, but they were really good.
They were really good.
You understand who Darren Woodson was and some integral, vital parts of the secondary. Mike Irvin is everything. He is the Cowboys emblem. He is it. He was our attitude. He was that guy. And Troy was, Mr. Consistent. You know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get from Troy and Emmett. So understanding those personalities, you should want to mirror that. You should okay, that's what I do with our team. I'm like, okay, who was our best receiver? Okay, Travis. We can't go find us Travis. Ain't nothing out there. Mm-hmm. But let's find the receiver characteristics of Travis. Let's go try to get that. And the cornerback characteristics of Travis. Let's go try to find those guys and emulate and imitate that because it worked. And the character on and off the field, let's find that. So that's the way we target our things. With what we know that has been successful, let's go find a duplicate of that. I don't know if that's been the case.
No, it has not. And by the way, we didn't mention Charles Haley. He might have been a little beat up at that point, but oh my God, he was just.
Charles, Nate, and Tolbert are coming over to the crib tomorrow.
Are they really?
They'll be here tomorrow.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
We always kick it. That
makes me happy. Yeah.
I wish you could hear us get together because that is hilarious.
Okay. Because listen, Charles Haley was a difference maker.
Charles Haley was a darn killer, man. Charles Haley was unbelievable. Tolbert was unbelievable. Nate, I mean, it was so many. See, you had like the goal for me with Colorado. We want 7 guys that we know we could count on each side of the ball on Saturday.
Okay.
We know 4.
Sure. Yeah, I got it.
Adam, we could put some shelter around them. We could do what we do. At that point in time, the Cowboys offensively, they had at least 9.
It's ridiculous.
We had at least 8 that we knew what we were getting. We know. So when you could do those type of numbers, shoot, you can't help but win. And the staff was great.
Yeah. And yet, Deion, Larry Brown was the MVP of the Super Bowl. That year. Crazy.
Larry Brown was the MVP of the darn Super Bowl. How about that?
Thanks to Neil O'Donnell throwing him some balls, right?
Yeah, Neil was gracious that day.
He was very gracious.
I was hoping he was going to be gracious to me, but he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't because he was scared to death of you. That's the one thing he did right in that game was avoid you. So before we leave pro football, is there any other job in the future that you would be interested in pro football, or is it till death do you part in college football?
Only job I would be interested in is the job that offers me an opportunity to coach my sons. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Other than that, there's no interest. There's no thought process. There's no, I want that. Not whatsoever at all. So, I love Boulder, Colorado, man.
I believe that.
I love it. What it presents to us. I love the weather. I love the setting. I love
it's beautiful.
Breathtaking. Everything about it. I really do.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.